Hi, and welcome to see a memo from my vacation in France. I collected the highlights from my trip to Paris and Normandy during autumn 2021. I was really glad to be here in the end of September. It's my favorite time to travel. The weather is cold enough to be dressed in my favorite autumn coat and enjoy long walks on the streets of Paris. We had less than a week in Paris, and it's definitely not enough to explore such a big city. There's just so much things to do and so many places to go, and since it's not our first trip to Paris, we choose to spend our time in places I haven't seen before. Well, none of those are new to Ali. He was living in Paris for a few years while being a student, so he just let me choose what to visit. Most of all, I was interested to see architecture in Paris, and among all the styles in the city, my favorite is Art Nouveau. I like its aesthetic so much. Everywhere I go in Paris, I look for Art Nouveau. Facades, interiors, decorative art. The first place to go to see Art Nouveau architecture is 16th and 7th districts in Paris. Another outstanding example is Samaritain. It has been renovated and reopened not long time ago, and it's not only a luxury department store, but a work of art itself. It embodies all the best of Art Nouveau interior with its colors and organic motifs. If I should choose only one museum to visit in Paris, that's gonna be Musée d'Orsay.
Merci.
Museum occupies an elegant Art Nouveau building that was previously used as a railway station. I love 20th century art, and this museum has the largest collection of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist masterpieces from such painters as Cézanne, Monet, Renoir. Beside that, it has a generous collection of Art Nouveau furniture and decorative art. September, we were lucky to see the exhibition about creation of cinema. That was really interesting. Orsay is bigger than you may think. We spent over 6 hours in the museum, so we needed to take a break in a cafe. And what I usually take in French cafes is verbena tea. I don't find it often in Finland or any other countries where I travel, but maybe it's good this way to keep this drink strongly associated with France. So if I find myself drinking a verbena tea, it means I'm in France. The other day we chose to visit the Museum of Yves Saint Laurent, a famous French fashion designer. I was able to see his designs, the details of his work, how he chose the fabric, and also a part of his atelier. I'm myself a little bit interested in cloth making, so it was really inspiring. Time goes fast, it's already evening. This summer we got married, and one young couple, very special to us, gave us a wedding gift. It was a dinner on a boat that goes along the Seine, passing by the most attractive places in Paris. Me and my husband often take different options so we can steal from each other's plate and have a little bit of different courses. And now now it's time to say goodbye to Paris, and next we are going to Giverny. Elie's parents picked us up, and the rest of the trip we spent together. Giverny was on our way, so we decided to make a stop here, and this little town is famous for a reason. A well-known painter, Claude Monet, was living here, and his house is a museum now. Monet's garden is open for the visitors as well. A lot of people come to see a famous pond with water lilies that he used to paint. If you are not familiar with his art, I will link some examples. Even in the end of September, the garden is so lush and so well maintained. We had a dinner in a restaurant here in Giverny, and most of the products I used here are seasonal and come from local suppliers, which I think is a really great concept. We stayed for the night in a guest house, and after the breakfast we continue our trip to Normandy. And here we are in a place I wanted to see the most, in Is.Ekaterina. Le Jardin d'Etretat is a little treasure of Normandy. It's a very unique garden and an outdoor museum. More than other objects in the garden, I like the tree hugger project. There is something really touching in it. We were so lucky with the weather. It's not supposed to be so sunny in the north of France. During our trip we stayed in different guest houses, and it's a very common type of accommodation, and usually it looks like a traditional house with a very Normandic interior. A typical breakfast is coffee and fresh pastries or bread from local bakeries. During one of our stays, we even had a dinner cooked by the host.
Alors là, il faut bouger la table, enfin ouais, ça.
Bref, on en sort.
Assez rapidement. Cette maison, elle était en vente depuis très longtemps.
Ça craint, machin, oui.
Ouais, ça va sortir de partout, comme je vous ai dit.
Ouais.
D'accord. J'ai fait comme je l'aurais sur une poêle chaude et nous l'avons testé.
Caviar
Avec
and
l'huile
wine.
de truc et
And we
tout.
feel the elaborate
Alors,
recipe.
On fait Honfleur.
Honfleur après.
il vous reste combien de temps?
On the last day of our road trip, we visited Honfleur. It's a lovely old town with a beautiful harbor, and again, how lucky we are with such sunny weather. It's so rare in Normandy. There are a lot of small artisanal shops in Honfleur, a lot of art galleries and restaurants. We had dinner in one of those, and I have to admit it was so good. Last days in France we spent in Alice's parents' home not far from Angers. They live in a detached house and it's a place where my husband grew up.
Oui.
And this is Milazzo, a member of our family.
Ron, ron, ron.
Tu trouves que ça fait juste?
Ellie's mom always cooked the most delicious food, and it was so nice to be with them for a few days. Living in Finland, we don't have chance to see them often. That's why those moments when we are together are so precious.
Du sopalin.
Tu vas voir si je vais chercher la brosse. Brosse, là-dedans. Voilà. Ah bah c'est l'installation.
Moi j'entends les ronrons.
Bon, il finit le jour par partir.
Oui, oui, oui. Quand elle part, il part.